The year 2000 changed football forever, but not in the way you know. While everyone remembers Luis Figo's shocking betrayal that summer, few ask the more intriguing question. What if it never happened? What if Barcelona's captain had honored his word and stayed loyal to the Catalans? Today, we explore the alternate timeline that could have written El Clásico history and prevented Real Madrid's golden era from ever beginning. Luis Figo was untouchable at Barcelona by 2000. 5 seasons at Camp Nou had transformed the Portuguese winger into football royalty, Ballon d'Or winner, club captain, and the heartbeat of every Barcelona attack. His partnership with Rivaldo terrorized La Liga defenses, while his leadership guided a generation of players through triumph and disappointment. The statistics spoke volumes. 51 matches, 14 goals and 16 assists in his final season alone. But behind the scenes, cracks were forming. Barcelona's board refused his salary renegotiation demands, stubbornly pointing to a contract extension signed just 1 year earlier. Club president Josep Luis Núñez dismissed Figo's agent with cold words. "We won't do it because we did it a year ago." Meanwhile, Florentino Perez was building his Real Madrid presidential campaign around one audacious promise: signing Luis Figo. The $62 million release clause seemed impossible, but Perez had other plans. Just months earlier, Figo had publicly declared his loyalty to Barcelona in Mundo Deportivo. "I stay at Barcelona. This is my last decision." The fans believed him, the club trusted him. Then came July 24, 2000, the day football changed forever. Figo crossed enemy lines, leaving Barcelona fans feeling betrayed by their former idol. Figo's move to Real Madrid didn't just break hearts in Catalonia, it reshaped European football at every level. The transfer handed Florentino Perez the Real Madrid presidency and kick-started the Galactico era, a bold new strategy that prioritized star power over system. Within just a few years, Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo Nazario, David Beckham and Roberto Carlos would join Figo in Madrid. Football became more than a game, it became global entertainment. The Galactico brand elevated Real Madrid into a commercial superpower. Transfer fees climbed, shirt sales became central to the club's strategy. Presidential campaigns turned into transfer auctions. El Clásico evolved from a fierce domestic rivalry into an international event, drawing hundreds of millions of viewers. The media loved it, sponsors loved it, and soon every major club wanted its own version of the Galacticos. In short, Figo's betrayal didn't just change 2 clubs, it changed how the game was marketed, monetized, and consumed around the world. But what if this transfer never occurred? What if Figo had honored his word and stayed loyal to the club that made him a superstar? Well, what happens next will blow your mind. In this timeline, Figo stays at Barcelona beyond 2000. Barcelona's board finally agrees to his salary demands, keeping their star player happy. Without Figo's signature, Florentino Perez's entire presidential campaign collapses. His promise to bring the Portuguese captain to Madrid becomes impossible, and he loses the Real Madrid election to more traditional candidates. Figo remains Barcelona's captain and talisman through the early 2000s. When Frank Rijkaard replaced Louis van Gaal as coach in 2003, Figo would inherit a squad with established leadership rather than a team in crisis. The Dutchman's possession-based philosophy finds the perfect executor in Figo, who by now has mastered every aspect of Barcelona's tactical system. The 2003 arrival of Ronaldinho will change everything. Instead of carrying the entire creative burden alone, the Brazilian partners with an experienced Figo on the opposite wing. La Liga defenses face an impossible choice: stop Ronaldinho's tricks on the left or contain Figo's precision on the right. Most can't handle both simultaneously. Samuel Eto'o joined in 2004, completing a devastating front 3. The Cameroonian striker thrives with service from both flanks, breaking scoring records across Europe. Meanwhile, La Masia graduates Xavi and Iniesta learn directly from Figo's leadership qualities. The Portuguese captain shows them how to handle pressure, how to perform in crucial moments, and how to lead by example. When Lionel Messi makes his debut in 2004, he trains alongside two of the world's best players. This accelerates his development significantly, potentially making him ready for first-team football even earlier than in our timeline. But wait until you see what happens to Real Madrid in this alternate world. Without Figo's transfer, Real Madrid's entire 2000s strategy collapses. Florentino Perez loses the presidential election, meaning Ramon Calderon or another candidate takes charge. The Galactico policy never begins. No Zidane signing in 2001 for $77 million, no David Beckham arriving in 2003, no Brazilian Ronaldo joining from Inter Milan. Real Madrid continues with their existing squad, struggling to compete with Barcelona's new super team. Barcelona dominated Spanish football throughout the early 2000s. With Figo, Ronaldinho and Ito leading the attack, they won multiple La Liga titles and reached Champions League finals consistently. The 2006 Champions League victory came earlier, possibly in 2004 or 2005, with Figo finally lifting the trophy he desperately wanted. El Clásico matches become less toxic without the betrayal storyline. Figo returns to Camp Nou as a visitor with other clubs, but faces respect rather than hatred. No pigheads thrown, no security concerns, just pure football rivalry. The biggest change came in 2008, when Pep Guardiola took over. Instead of inheriting a team that finished third in La Liga, he gets a squad that has been winning consistently. Figo, now 35, could still contribute as a veteran leader, helping guide the young stars through their first major tournaments. Barcelona's golden era potentially begins 2 years earlier with even greater success. And here's truly the wild part about how history changes. Luis Figo won 2 Champions League titles at Real Madrid, but he might have claimed 3 at Barcelona while remaining a beloved icon rather than football's most hated traitor. His loyalty could have accelerated Barcelona's golden generation by years, fundamentally altering the balance of power in Spanish football. Instead of being remembered as the man who broke Barcelona hearts, Figo would have been celebrated as the captain who stayed faithful when temptation came calling. The Portuguese winger's decision to honor his word could have entirely prevented Real Madrid's Galactico era, creating a timeline where Barcelona dominated European football throughout the 2000s. Galactico. Sometimes the most interesting stories aren't about what happened, but about what could have been. But what do you think? If Figo had stayed at Barcelona, would we have seen a completely different era of football dominance? Would Real Madrid ever have become the Galacticos? Or would Barcelona have ruled Europe unchallenged? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the ride, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stick around for more football legends and alternate histories are just around the corner. And stick around for more football legends and alternate histories are just around the corner.